Welcome back. Today we are going to be making a beautiful picture of sun and moon, and I'm just going to be using really markers and crayons. You can use whatever you like. I'm going to divide mine into warm and cool colors just to make it a little easier for me for when I get started. So you need markers, or you can use crayons or paint or colored pencils, whatever you like. So this is what I'm going to use. I also, you don't have to use it, but it's easier to use. I would like to use a ruler. You can use anything to make a straight edge. Like you could use the side of a box or a container, the side of your crayon or marker box. That's a nice straight edge you can use. That's what they say, is a straight edge. And I'm going to use something to make a circle. I'm going to use this upside down paper bowl. You could use a paper plate. Don't use anything that you would ever want to get dirty. All right, so let me get these separated into warm and cool colors. Okay, so when I think about things that are warm, when you think of the sink, when you turn on the on and off button for, or the on and off dials for turning the knobs for the water on your sink, the hot one is always red. The cold water is always blue. So we know that because blue is cool because it is like the water, cool water and things like that. Red is like fire. What other colors are fire and hot? Orange. It could be a color of fire. So can yellow. Those are all colors you could color the sun with, or fire, and fire is hot. Or so they're warm colors. Okay. What else is cold? All right, so nice cool green grass. So if you're outside and you have no shoes and you try to get the mail, have you ever tried to do that? I do that sometimes. I'm stubborn. And I go out and I touch the concrete. It's so hot. But if I go into the grass, it's nice and cool. My feet are cooled. So remember that when you think of cool green grass. Grass is rarely ever so hot you can't walk on. It's usually nice and cool. Purple is like purple mountains. Sometimes you use mountains in that color. And you think mountains are kind of cold because they have snow. This is an interesting, pink. Well, pink is kind of like light red, right? So pink is a warm color, right? But this is interesting. This is kind of in between warm and cool because it's a little bit like purple, and purple is cool, and this is a little bit like pink. So it's kind of both. But this particular one looks closer to pink, so I'm going to put it with the warm colors. But it could easily go here. Look, could easily go there. So I'm going to go there. All right. Now, black is usually considered to be a cool color, and brown is usually considered to be warm. Okay. Gray is another one of those weird ones where it can go either way. You can have a kind of a warmish gray or a cool gray. This particular gray looks a little bit more, if you see, look at here, it doesn't really go. It looks a little, almost has a green cast. So this one is actually a cool gray. So I think I did pretty good. These seem to be there's 6 on each side. So that seems pretty correct. All right, so I separated them into warm and cool, and I'm not going to mix them up too much. So right now I'm going to take my bowl and I'm going to trace it. You could use a pencil. I like to use a pencil because if I make a mistake, I'm not very upset and have to start all over again. I'm going to trace it. You hold it with one hand, and then I'm going to see if I just trace it all the way around, my arm is going to get in the way. So I usually start going around again. I'll lift it up. It's okay if it's not perfect. Oops. Now I have a circle. Now I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to make my rays or like lines. I'm going to do, this side is going to be the moon. So, and this side is going to be the sun. But I'm going to do lines coming out of either one. Like sun's rays. And this one I'm going to do right in the middle. I'm not going to do it on, like through the circle. It's just gonna be, like I'm gonna stop when I get to the circle's edge right here. All right, now I'm gonna do my raise. Okay, so now I've done those. Now I'm gonna make my face. So I'm gonna do this side is my moon. It's gonna look upside down too. So I'm gonna make kind of a curved line. So if I'm gonna make a nose, and a mouth. Now, could you just do one curved line? Absolutely. And I'll show you what that looks like. I don't have my eraser, but basically you just do, I'll show you on the other side. If you don't want to do anything super duper fancy, I have my circle. I can do just a curved line like that. And I've got my moon and my sun. But if you're not sure how to make that curved line, you can use your bowl again and then trace it. And then you've got your moon and your sun. This is the line I just made. This line here I've just made with my bowl. So I've separated into two halves, okay? And I'll show you what that's like when we get started. So I'm gonna draw an eye. I made like a C. And that's looking to the side. It's gonna be a happy moon. And this eye here, I make kind of like an almond shape, the circle in the middle. And I'm going to continue his happy mouth. Okay, so it's a face. Now, what does it look like if I did it like this on the other side? I wish I had my eraser, but so I would draw an eye. You could draw an eye however you want. And then I would do my nose and then my mouth, and I would still have my moon on this side and my sun on this side. It still works. It doesn't need to have that crazy line. That's fine. It doesn't need to have any of that. But it can, okay? So now I've got everything set up. All I need to do now is do my color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trace what I did in pencil with my black marker. And I'm gonna do some details. Like I didn't do eyebrows. Let me do eyebrows. I didn't really do lips before, so I'm gonna do lips. And I'm gonna do my lines. It's already starting to take shape. All right. Now, I'm going to flip it over so you can see better. So now I have my face. So on the moon side is going to be cool, and the sun side is going to be warm because sun is hot and moon is cool. At night, it's usually colder than it is. I'm just moving my markers. At night is usually colder, right? So on the moon side, I'm going to have blue and everything. So I'm going to use my markers. Actually, for the patterns, for the inside of this, I'm just going to use a crayon because it's going to take a while to color this in. So I'm going to use a crayon, or you can use an oil pastel. And I'm going to color in his face one color. You can do multicolors, however you want. I'm going to do a blue moon. I know moons can be yellow or white or whatever, but this is a blue moon. And then I'm going to do different colors. Like I'm going to do his lips purple. I'm going to do this dark purple for the lips. And then for the eye. And I'm going to actually use, you can use white. I'm just going to use this light purple here because I think it's kind of a pretty shade. And then you can close this if you want, but I'm going to leave it open. And I'm actually going to do like a highlight on the cheek color. I'm going to make like a circle here, and it's going to be like a light blue here. And then here, I'm going to do the rest of it colored blue. And I'm almost done with my moon face. Okay. Very cool. I like to make sure there's no like white showing through underneath my paper so that it looks nice and smooth. You can see he has a little cheek color there. All right, now on this side, I'm gonna do a light yellow here, and I'm gonna use the lightest color here because that part's normally white, and I'm gonna do pink here, and I'm gonna do like a yellowy orange here for the lips. You can do a golden cheek color. You could get really fancy. You can make it look like they have makeup on if you really wanted to. But I'm going to do red for the main part of the face. You could use orange. Actually, I could even mix them, and I'll show you what that looks like. I'm going to do kind of red on the outline. This one's going to be kind of fancy. Then I'm going to do my orange inside of that. Most of it's going to be orange. Okay, so I'm almost done with the sun. And then I'm going to do the rays all in marker, like I had planned. Some things don't always go exactly to plan, and that's fine. Sometimes you change as you go. Okay, so I think it's pretty good. I've got everything colored in. I've got little crumbs here, so I don't want them to get mixed up in my marker and then they don't go. So there we go. I'm actually going to take a little yellow and fill this in because the golden, it doesn't really look that circular. So I'm trying to like go over the gold and the orange and kind of blend them in a little bit. All right, now they have kind of rosy cheeks. All right, so I'm going to do some patterns with my colors, my warm and cool colors here. I can take circles with my red markers. On this side, it's all going to be warm colors. So I'm going to start on the sun side. Maybe some stripes here. And then I'm going to do some circles. I don't have to color every little thing in, but I'm going to start with the markers and then see how it goes. I'm going to do some squares. Oh, this orange is not very good. kind of old. That's all right. You don't have to be perfect. All right, and then I'm going to go in with some zigzag lines. Oh, this isn't the best marker. So since my marker's drying out, I'm just going to use a yellow crayon. And then I'm going to do maybe some pink dots. I'm going to outline it in pink too to make it show up more. Okay, and then over here I'm going to do some lines going this way. And then I'm going to have some brown lines going, oops, you didn't see that one. Okay, so lines going down with my purple color. I mean, not my purple, but it's the pinkish purple. And then I'm going to take my, it's that weird color. I'm going to take the brown and make kind of like a checkered pattern. So I finished that one in. I've got all that. I have one more section. So I've used red, I've used orange, I've used yellow, I've used pink, brown, and the other weird color. I think I want to use some more red and some brown. So I'm going to use, what am I going to use for this one? I can do some, I'm going to do some squares that have bigger squares around them. And I'm going to do the same, I'm going to do that with the whole section. And then I'm going to fill in with some brown. All right, now at this point you could say, okay, that looks great, I'm done. Or you could color it in. And how would it look if you colored it in? You could take a regular crayon and then color in the sections here. You could color them all the same, or you could color them differently. This is an example how you can do that. I'm going to go ahead and do this colored in version of it so that you can see what it would look like if you did color it in. Okay, so I've done that section. And now this one, I'm going to take some more warm colors. I'm going to use a different yellow. This is my really light yellow. To go around my pink. Okay, and then I'm going to do, I'm going to put some more yellow down here. This is why I separate all my colors in the beginning so I don't have to do it again. And then over here, I'm going to use like a pink and color in the background of these red squares. And I'm going to use like a peachy color to color in the brown parts. All right, this side is done. You can see that. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the other side. Almost done. All right, so on this side, I have my different markers. I'm going to do some curly lines with this gray in this whole section. Okay, and then I'm going to make, on this blue section, I'm going to make kind of like curved lines. My blue. And then I think I'm going to do some stars right here with my purple. I probably should use gray for this, but it's okay. It's just a pattern. This makes me feel like it's nighttime. And a good way to make a star is you make, that's upside down, but like you make kind of like it, you're making an A, and then you go across. Oh, I can't do it upside down. It's hard doing it upside down. Hang on. I'll do it really slow here. A, across, that way, and then back down. It's really hard to show you upside down, but there you go. Now I've done purple, blue, gray. Let me do, I'm gonna do blue down at the bottom. What else makes me think nighttime? How about wavy lines? Okay, and then I've got green lines. It doesn't have to be green lines. I'm going to make green little spirals. Those are spirals. You do whatever you want, whatever shapes you want. Okay, I feel like I'm done. The only color I didn't use on this side was black, and I think I'm going to do some little just regular dots in between here just to kind of add a little variety. Okay. Now I'm going to take my crayons and color these large sections. I'm using a green on top of the gray. Now I'm going to get a purple, and I'm going to color the light purple on top of the dark purple. Ah, I pressed too hard. Nice. Okay. Then I'm going to choose this blue crayon to go over these. That's a little bit dark. Maybe I'll just press lighter. I'll press to put this blue crayon over that blue one. And then over here, what can I use? Let me just use, I'm going to use this green. It's like a yellowy green over this one. It's a light green. See, the markers, it really pops when you use crayons with markers together. It looks cool. You could also use colored pencils. And I'm going to use a different purple over here. And I'm not going to press very hard. See, how do I go so fast? I use my wrist to color. It's okay if you go outside of the lines. It's fine. Sometimes I do that too. I do that a lot, actually. All right, and there you go. So I've got all my sections. I've got my moon and my sun. I've got my warm side and my cool side. And it's all done. All right. I can't wait to see what you make. Have a wonderful rest of your day.